We back, everybody. This is Prophet Trey D. Gisson Tanner. Welcome back to Chats with Trey. We back, y'all. And we talking about Jesus. Jesus. Because Jesus is not only the reason for the season, but it's reason for everything. The Lord has brought us into 2011, and I'm just ecstatic to be back. Shout out to my ministry, Mount Calvary Third Deliverance Outreach Ministries International, back in Cleveland, Ohio, Foundation of Truth. I love y'all, School of the Prophets. And, we're going to be talking about Jesus because this is the thing, everybody. We got people who don't know Jesus at all, and then we got people who think they know who Jesus is, and then you got very few people out here who truly know how he lived his life. What we're going to be doing is talking about how he lived his life, his tendencies, what did he tell people, how he was a radical. Jesus just wasn't no pretty person. Jesus got real with people. He was from Galilee. He was from the ghetto. All right, y'all. So we just going to go into it. We ain't got no definitions, no elevated language. We're just going to go into the straight word, strictly the word. And, we're going to be talking about basically how rough and how real he got with people. Because, you can't, just because you're cute, that doesn't mean that you're going to get to the kingdom of heaven. Just because you pay your tithes every week, pay your offerings. I'm not saying that's not good, because that is excellent. But that does not mean that you're going to get to the kingdom. Your mind has to be renewed, like we talked about in Romans chapter 12, verse 1. So we just going to get into it. All right, y'all. Luke chapter 14, verse 25 through 35, New King James Version, straight from the word. It says, "Now great multitudes went with him, and he turned and said to them, If anyone comes to me and does not hate, okay, people, listen up real quick. You about to get real deep with people. Does not hate his father and his mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, and also his own life. He cannot be my disciple. And whoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." Verse 28. "For which of you intending to build a tower does not sit down first to count the cost? All right, whether he has enough to finish it, lest after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him." All right, so this is talking about this. This is talking about how, how can, God count you as a soldier or count you as a part of the kingdom when you're not showing any attributes to him, okay? See, one thing I want you all to understand is just that Jesus came to show us how to live right in the flesh, which is an imperfect body, all right? Thusly, you understand what I'm saying? We're going to go into it in another Chats with Trey. He had to put down his family sometimes. He had to, go ahead and do his father's business. It just wasn't about his earthly family. All right? We got to love everybody, but you got to listen to the Spirit of the Lord. You got to be able to take the scriptures and what it say in the word and what Jesus did and apply it to your life. And that may mean, not doing everything according to the way, I guess, religious and the aristocracy of the Christianity, the people and they may want you to do it. But guess what? It's going to be on you to get real with God. Listen up. Verse 30 says, "This man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king to make war against another king and does not sit down first and consider whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000. So God is looking at us like, okay, hey, you speak very well, and you can quote scripture, but how much of it do you really know? How much of it is ingrained inside of your soul? Okay, how much of Jesus do you truly have? Because the Old Testament ain't gonna get you to the Lord. Okay, matter of fact, Jesus was the Old Testament and the New Testament. He just came on the scene within the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But, they prophesied of Jesus and his coming throughout the books of the prophets and things like that because he was the Old and the New Testament, because he was God in the flesh. All right? It says in verse 32, or else while the other is still a great way off, he sends a delegation and asks conditions of peace. So likewise, whoever of you does not forsake all that he has cannot be my disciple. Okay? And then that's actually going up to verse 33. So that was 25 to 33 of Luke chapter 14. So you got to put down all who you are. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be easy at all. All right? So, a couple steps. All right? You got to have a time in the day when you pray. Absolutely. The Bible talks about in Thessalonians, I believe 1 Thessalonians, it talks about how you must pray without ceasing. Now, praying without ceasing does not mean that you got your head in the ground all day. What it means is this, is that all day your mind is on Jesus. Okay? Now, out of all the things and the things that we come up against in this world, I know we have so many worldly lusts that attack us every day. But that having that time where you can actually say, I'm in my prayer room and I'm talking to the Lord. See, the word is great. The word is great, but one thing we're going to be focusing on in this whole Jesus topic we're going to be talking about in the next couple of weeks is, what did he do to counteract the dignitaries? What did he do to counteract the religion? Because, to be honest with you, you have to understand and know that it's just not about knowing the word, because the Pharisees and Sadducees knew the word, but see, Jesus knew the warfare. Jesus knew what was going to get them to heaven. So, okay, you may say to yourself, okay, I need God. But you need God, but you also need Jesus. And we must study him to find out how he lived his life. Okay? So, you have to have a regular prayer life. Also, another tip for you is, you got to have you a church home. You need a leader. You need somebody who you can say, okay, this is my leader. But when you go out and you have a leader, don't say to yourself that I'm just going to get a leader just to be a part of a church just because it's a mega church or something like this. Have a leader so that he can give you the knowledge and give you the understanding that you need, because you want to increase in Jesus, but you also need somebody who's going to help you along the way. All right, real quick. Luke chapter 9, verse 18 to 26, New King James Version. It says, and it happened as he was alone praying. Mind you, we're going to talk about something for a while when we go into this, how Jesus prayed. The reason why I say he must have a regular prayer life is because Jesus prayed a great while before day every day. Okay? That was something that was so important to him. That's something that he did, all right? Listen up. That his disciples joined him, and he asked them, saying, who do the crowd say that I am? Okay? So they answered and said, John the Baptist, but some say Elijah, and others say that that one of the old prophets that has risen again. So they might have thought he was Moses. All right? So in verse 20, he said, but who do you say that I am? We're going to answer that question in the next part. All right? Stay tuned.